Hi everyone, and welcome to Jonathan Talks Real. It's Jonathan Sunday, where I'll be talking about and reviewing all the episodes of Jonathan the Vampire Slayer in order. Today, I'm looking at Season Jonathan, Episode Jonathan, Superstar. We begin the episode with Buffy and friends fighting vampires. Oop, there's one gone, and the other one has run off, back to its nest where it noms down on this poor bloke. Buffy thinks there's too many for them to take on, so they go for reinforcements. Jonathan. And into the credits we go. Perfectly normal credits, I might add. Nothing odd about them at all. Everyone, including Jonathan, especially Jonathan, are preparing for the big battle, and Buffy's a little disappointed that he's outshining her. They arm themselves with Jonathan laying out the plan, and this guy is first to go. Jonathan drops in, goofy face, and this lady swiftly follows, with this guy running into Buffy's stake, and finally this guy gets taken out by Jonathan. Buffy is annoyed that one got away from her, but Jonathan pep talks her before being swamped by paparazzi, who he tells to go away, and then calls out Spike, who's hiding in the bushes.
I wasn't exactly pining for a noisy visit from Wonder Jonathan and his fluffy battle kitten.
They have a bit of a standoff, and Willow excitedly tells Tara of their adventures, with Tara asking how Buffy is since the whole Faith body swap thing, as they stick up photos of Jonathan and a cat. Buffy checks on Riley and asks if he's off the drugs, and he says he is, but he's no closer to finding Adam, and then she takes off to bitch to Jonathan about Faith. He thinks she might be more mad at Riley than she is Faith, but they're interrupted by an excitable fangirl.
It's Karen with a K.
Wait, is Karen with a C a common occurrence? Anyway, this colonel is debriefing the initiative before bringing Jonathan in, who points out that Adam's power source is a doodad of uranium located in his chest, while Karen stakes out his house only to be attacked by some goblin-looking creature. Riley asks Jonathan for advice about Buffy before they all go to the Bronze, where Xander complains that Anya called out Jonathan's name during sex. Jonathan takes to the mic, and his singing voice is provided by Brad Kane, aka Aladdin and the villain in the episode The Prom. Riley asks Buffy to dance and apologizes for boinking Faith. Then Jonathan whips out his trumpet.
Xander?
Yeah.
Let's go have sex now.
Yeah.
I guess Xander will be whipping out his trumpet too. The mood is interrupted by Karen, who Jonathan takes back to his mansion, and she draws a symbol which she saw on the monster. But Jonathan shrugs it off, which Buffy finds suspicious. Ugh, what the hell is that? It kinda looks like Charlize Theron in Monster. Anyway, she's dead, and Adam is studying footage of Jonathan, while this vamp explains who he is.
These are lies. None of this is real. The world has been changed.
Adam's immune to Jonathan's bullshit and says he doesn't need to do anything because the spell is beginning to unravel on its own. Jonathan is staring at his ridiculously huge fireplace when he's booty-called by his girlfriends. And oh, there's that symbol! Buffy talks to Willow while Beastie Boy attacks Tara, but she fights back with magic and runs away. When Tara explains what attacked her, Buffy goes to Xander's.
You're not going away. Why aren't you going away?
And noses through his belongings, much to Anya's annoyance.
Oh, you're still here? That's nice.
She asks Anya if she finds this whole thing weird, which she doesn't, and then inquires about the possibility of someone wishing for an entirely different world, before going to the others, saying the details of Jonathan's life don't add up. But Anya isn't helping much.
Stop with the shrimp. I am trying to do something here.
Everyone thinks she's nuts, except for Riley, who trusts her instincts, and she points out Jonathan's mark, just as the man himself walks in. This lamp is quaking! He spins some story about the monster having power over him, so Buffy drags him out to find it, and they threaten Spike in order to get information. The Scoobies are researching when Willow discovers the mark and the truth. Jonathan did a spell to alter reality to make himself a superhero, but that in turn created the monster.
So we're saying he did a spell just to make us think he was cool?
Yes.
That is so cool.
If the monster dies, then reality is fixed, and seeing as Jonathan wouldn't want that, the Slayer is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Wow. Fall down there and be dead for a while.
The monster attacks, so Buffy kicks its butt, making Jonathan weaker. But when she gets into trouble, he dives in to save her, knocking the monster into the pit. And with the thing dead, reality reverts to normal. Buffy sees Jonathan in the aftermath, and he explains that he got the spell from a kid in counselling, and he reminds her of the advice he gave her about Riley, and they reconcile. Alright, so funny story with this episode. I hated it when I was younger. I just wanted the world to be back to normal. But as an adult, I have such an appreciation for it because I relate to Jonathan. I feel like I want to be smarter or stronger or more attractive, to feel more relevant in life to those around me. It's sad but true that when you feel flawed or worthless, you would do anything to feel like you have more purpose. It's a really relatable episode for me, and it's good that we've had a build-up to it too, with Buffy and Jonathan's odd friendship being established ahead of time. There's quite a bit to cover, but while it's interesting that Adam is the only one immune to the spell, Jonathan does establish Adam's weak point, which will be exploited by Buffy at the end of the season. It's interesting that Buffy is the one to be suspicious of the reality and think it's been altered, because she will do this again next season when Dawn comes into the picture, although it will take her a bit longer. This episode also establishes Jonathan as a pretty successful magic user, which will come into play in a big way during his run as a bad guy in Season 6. And we get reinforcement of just how naive Xander is, as he's the last one to get on board with the idea that Jonathan could be lying, which is why he's the one that tends to get almost eaten by praying mantises or mummies. Finally, music played a large role in Superstar, being a spoof on Bond and Mission Impossible and the like, which is a lot of fun and keeps you entertained even if you're not a fan of the whole Jonathan is awesome idea. We have 9 more deaths to add to our list. 2 humans, this unnamed dude being nommed on by vampires, and this unnamed lady killed by Adam. 6 vampires, 1 Buffy staked in the graveyard, 1 she crossbowed in the crypt, this guy and this lady crossbowed by Jonathan, 1 that ran into Buffy's stake, and 1 more taken out by Jonathan. And finally, our first monster since Season 2, the Spell Beast that was pushed into the pit by Jonathan. That brings our running total to 14 humans, 1 transformation, 19 vampires, 20 demons, 1 werewolf, and 1 monster. So there you have it. That was Superstar. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, or come say hi on social media. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit that like button, it really does mean a lot, or consider subscribing if you want to be sired by my channel. Alternatively, feel free to check out my other YouTube channels, Jane Plays Games Badly, Jane Talks Murder, and Jane Talks Trek. Thank you so much for watching, I'll speak to you soon, and don't let the vampires bite.